We have some breaking news here. According to Ian Rappaport, the Bears have traded Roquan Smith to the Ravens.
No, really?
Whoa!
Yeah.
It happened.
Breaking news on the score presented by BetQL. Smarter bets start with BetQL. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. We got anything on compensation yet?
No, that's the only thing out there.
Glazer and
1 minute to go.
Jay Glazer now and Ian Rappaport. Thank you, Shane. That is amazing.
Whoa!
That is
the 5-3 Baltimore Ravens, a team that has been defined by defense and linebacker play in the 21st century with Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs, but you don't trade for Roquan Smith unless you are prepared to sign him to a long-term contract extension off of the presumed franchise tag number. Roquan Smith's about to be a $20 million per year player and carry on, go from the lineage of Chicago Bears linebackers to the lineage of Baltimore Ravens linebackers, and he goes from an NFC team that has no shot realistically at the playoffs to a division-leading AFC North team in the thick of it in the AFC. Adam Schefter, compensation update. Bears are trading Roquan Smith to the Ravens in exchange for 2nd and 5th round picks.
We did nail it.
Per source.
A 2 and a 5. Wow.
So that will be roughly the 55th pick in the draft, somewhere in that range, somewhere between 50 and 55, assuming the Ravens, don't go on a huge run or a huge fall in either direction, right? A bottom third, 2nd round pick, and then a smack dab in the middle of day 3 of the draft lottery pick. So, it's the 50-something pick in the draft and a lottery pick for Roquan Smith.
It's been fascinating. As we've tried to read tea leaves and figure it out, we've wondered about how they feel, this new brain trust, about paying an inside linebacker a premium and how they feel about that position being one where you need a dominant player, or is it something that's created by scheme, created by having a real good defensive line, which they obviously do not have. And we've watched it play out, and Roquan's holdout. It's been a long time coming to this place. I wonder when Roquan knew this could be possible. I think about him crying on the podium, and I think about his effort and his game yesterday.
I'm curious how Bears fans feel, too. 312-644-6767. I personally think that this makes all of the sense in the world. I think Roquan Smith is their most talented, proven player, even if Jalen Johnson is ascending and Justin Fields is ascending, which is what we were talking about before the news broke. But do you want to pay $20 million per year for an off-ball linebacker who hasn't proven to be a pass rusher or a takeaway specialist when clearly when you don't have elite defensive line talent in front of him, like Khalil Mack and Akeem Hicks, he has not been special this year.
And they feel they can maybe scout this position and draft this position.
And you have so many holes to fill. You need a 3 technique. You need an edge rusher. You need a left tackle. You probably need a right tackle. You might need a center. You need a number 1 receiver. You know what I mean? You need probably 5 or 6 more premium positions. Now, by the way, you now need linebackers. Their linebacker core isn't very good either. The Bears, with no Robert Quinn and no Roquan Smith, have one of the worst front sevens in all of the NFL.
Jack Sanborn is going to play so much.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And just the emotional side of it.
Well,
there are Bears fans out there that have kids that have Roquan Smith jerseys. Our guy Corey said his kid is going trick-or-treating in his Roquan Smith jersey tonight.
Wow.
And in the locker room, this is another defensive captain who is being traded away. You could expect more defensive performances like you saw yesterday, both because of they ain't got no talent and because they keep trading away the dudes that are supposedly the leaders on the team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ryan Poles is doing things in a very analytical and calculated way that makes sense. I think you can look at this trade and realize how much sense it makes intellectually, but it is asking a lot of his coaches to be that buffer and keep this team invested, keep this team emotionally present, and keep them playing with that violent edge that you need. And now Jalen Johnson is the leader of this defense. Jalen Johnson and Eddie Jackson.
Yeah.
Eddie Jackson just named the captain.
It's a defense led by its secondary, and
Yep.
Eddie Jackson, the more senior player. Eddie Jackson was a captain at Alabama, so Eddie Jackson has some natural leadership tendencies, very respected in that room.
And a captain now for the Bears, named before yesterday's game.
Yeah.
Very interesting timing on all of this, with the trade deadline obviously
and
fast approaching.
Well, we continue to learn about Ryan Poles. Right? Ryan Poles came here, looked at the thing, and he said, you know what? There's no point in being average. I am going to eat this dead cap space. They have the third most dead cap money in the NFL. Money spent on players not on the roster. Right? He got rid of Akeem Hicks, got rid of Khalil Mack, got rid of Allen Robinson, on and on down the line. Now, some of them didn't choose to come back. Some of them traded away, etc. Eddie Goldman goes his own way. Like not all active choices, not all counting towards dead cap space. But this was a transitional year. Then in season, all right, tried to sign Roquan Smith. Didn't. How hard did he try to sign Roquan Smith? Or was that just lip service? Because all he did was good poker player, Ryan Poles. I love the player. Hope that we can work it out. He's here. He said all of the right things and then traded him. When Robert Quinn was traded, do you see another move coming? Kind of made it seem like he's happy with the guys that we have here. Didn't really give any indication that this was going to happen. He's bottoming out. He is maximizing assets and saying, I don't have to spend all $100+ million in cap space this offseason. We can roll it over to next year. I'm going to stockpile draft picks, and this is going to be a 3-year build, which sucks for Justin Fields' rookie contract, frankly, but you've got guys you need to extend. You want to give Darnell Mooney a contract extension? That's got to happen. Fields is a year away from at least having that conversation on a 5th-year option. You know, what other guy? Jalen Johnson, he's coming up after next year. You're going to have to give him a contract extension. So you're either on and you're out, or in or out. And he chose that Roquan Smith's out. It's a fascinating decision.
It is. And look, he was clear, was Ryan Poles, especially when he talked about how it was in Kansas City at the beginning and how bad they got, how barren the talent level was, and how much they went backwards before they went forwards. He's very willing to have it stripped all the way down. And here's the thing. I think they have their quarterback. So if they have their quarterback, doesn't that make things a lot easier and quicker, theoretically, on that big old build?
It makes everything easier if you have your quarterback.